boy, am I excited to go to Rocketry. Let's go. What made you want to join Rocketry?
I thought it sounded really cool being able to build rockets and then actually like launch them and compete in competitions. And I also heard that there would be snacks. So.
Well, I've just always been interested in rockets and aerospace, so I knew when I started at Jordan that Rocketry Club was something I wanted to join.
I was going to lunch with Lily, and she wouldn't stop talking about rocketry. And the other person we went to lunch with, Arabella, also was in rocketry, so I thought I would try it.
I had some friends in the club and I wanted to spend more time with them.
I would definitely say the people. So my first year, it was Peter Tolman and Andrew Bear, and they really inspired me to join rocketry and start building rockets. But I would say, since they left last year, it's definitely still been the people. Like, you guys are great, and I love building rockets with you guys.
Originally, I was forced to join rocketry. My freshman year, my sister was a senior in rocketry, and we didn't have many club members at the time. She was like, "Hey Peter, you're gonna join," and so I ended up joining the club.
When I was a freshman at Jordan, this was before COVID, there were a whole bunch of STEM clubs that don't exist now, but among them rocketry just seemed to be the most interesting at the time.
When I was your age, I got into it. It was a new hobby. The rockets were pretty small, and it was just an exciting thing to do. And then I got back into it in 2000 after I attended a launch and found out that the rockets had gotten a lot bigger and more exciting.
How long have you been in rocketry?
I've been in rocketry since like last spring, so like around a year maybe.
Since the start of junior year, which is when I started at Jordan.
Since the beginning of the spring semester.
I think since like October maybe.
This is my second year in rocketry. I joined early last year, and I've been in it this year as well.
I was in rocketry for all 4 years of my high school. I enjoyed it a lot.
I was in rocketry all 4 years, although technically sophomore year, it was on Zoom, so we didn't really meet.
Since, I think, when TARC originally started, which was, I think, 2003 maybe, or somewhere around there, since the first year. Jordan was involved in the first year.
What's your favorite rocketry memory?
My favorite rocketry memory, it would probably be the time that my friend Kyler accidentally glued one of the club leaders last year. He glued his rocket to the table by accident, and it kind of broke, so he had to make a new one. Cut out my laugh. That was terrible, but yeah.
I won't be cutting it out. My favorite rocketry memory is probably when we won the Battle of the Rockets last year, because we got first place in the jumping robot event, which was cool because we beat the college that my dad went to, RPI. And then afterwards, we all went and watched the Mario movie.
Probably going to Bayboro, like a little road trip, and getting Bojangles, and then like seeing all the really big rockets. It was cool.
Gotta be the launch that in Bahama. That was really fun.
I would definitely say, like, the meetings. The meetings have definitely been very memorable in the way that not a lot of clubs are. They're very tight-knit, which I really enjoy, but when there are a lot of people, it's definitely really enjoyable.
My favorite rocketry memory is probably when we got the Van de Graaff generator out of the physics closet and plugged it in and grounded ourselves to try and shock ourselves as much as possible. Or we would try and touch others around the room to shock them as well.
Probably going up to Culpeper, Virginia at the end in 2023 for the Battle of the Rockets competition.
Just the excitement that the kids have when their rocket work that they've built works successfully. I think that's a great learning experience for students who don't get to build things much anymore.
I think when I was there in Bahama for, I don't know, just from seeing the different launches and actually getting to launch it.
What advice do you have for future rocketry members?
Don't glue somebody's rocket to the table.
I would say if you can, just try to make it to a launch because they're very cool and it's just nice to see all your work come into fruition.
Maybe like don't be intimidated because it sounds like it's a lot of like math and science, because that's not really my thing, but I have a lot of fun and there's not that much math.
Just, have fun, but also make sure you're like paying attention to the process and everything.
I would say just like have a lot of fun, because if you're just building rockets, it's not going to be fun. Really get to know the people around you and like have some sort of fellowship with each other. It makes it way better.
Some advice I have for future rocketry members is one, to update the website, and some advice I have for future rocketry members is one, they need to make sure to start early and register for events, and two, they also need to make sure to have a good relationship with the mentor.
For future members, I would say, put yourself out there, learn how to use the tools, learn Open Rocket, learn how things work, because it will help you in the long run.
Get involved and be willing to do all the different parts of construction and design, and you'll learn a lot that you won't have an opportunity to do in your normal classes.
Why should people join rocketry?
People should join rocketry because one, you get to build rockets with friends and shoot them, which is really cool, and you can also just use it as a time to hang out with people and just talk after school, which is nice.
I would say that people should join rocketry because it's an opportunity to work on something really cool while also being able to socialize with your friends.
I think it's just really fun and it feels nice to it's cool to launch like a rocket that you put together yourself, and everybody's really nice.
It's a really fun club and you get to learn a lot, but it's also like pretty chill and goldfish.
I would say rocketry is one of the best clubs to not just improve your resume, but definitely to make friends. There are a lot of great people in rocketry, and I'm sure there will continue to be as we continue to grow.
People should join rocketry for 3 reasons. One, rocketry is pretty much the only STEM club at Jordan. There is Science Olympiad, but everywhere has Science Olympiad and it's not particularly special. 2, rocketry, like I said before, is very unique. There are not many schools at all that have rocketry. There's maybe 1,000 in the country and like 3 in North Carolina. So it is a super, super unique experience. And 3, rocketry is a lot of fun. You are building and launching things a couple thousand feet into the air. It is a very special experience and you won't really experience it anywhere else.
People should join rocketry because you learn practical skills. You learn how to use tools. You learn how rockets work. And for me, that was a lot more fulfilling than, and no shade at Science Olympiad, but than a club like Science Olympiad where you just learn science facts.
Again, to get to learn about something other than just academics. You learn how to use power tools, how to design something physical, fly it later. You'll also learn about how difficult the actual challenges for the TARC launches are.
What's your favorite part about rocketry?
My favorite part about rocketry is probably the snacks. No, I'm kidding. My favorite part about rocketry is probably just feeling like I'm being productive. If I'm, sanding something or gluing something or cutting something, I don't know. Just any sort of activity I'm doing, I feel like I'm getting something done.
My favorite part of rocketry, although I like building the rockets, would have to be just chatting with my friends after school. It's always nice.
I really like just going to the meetings and then we all talk and have snacks while we work, so it's fun.
Probably the launches.
It would probably have to be all the shenanigans. Other than building rockets, we definitely partake in a lot of hooliganism, so probably that.
My favorite part about rocketry was, one, the relationships I built, and then also launching things into the sky.
I really like watching stuff shoot up in the air, and being the one who built the thing that shot up in the air is, again, pretty fulfilling.
Oh, just that you can, the fire and the smoke and the things going fast and very high in the air, and then when it comes back in a safe, recoverable and reflyable fashion, that's the cool part. Still gives me butterflies every time I fly a big rocket to high altitude.
I think just being there to experience it, going up and seeing how high it went or if it did it right, and finding different stuff.
What skills have you developed through your involvement in rocketry?
Well, I've definitely gotten better at sanding, and yeah.
I have learned a lot of sanding and mixing epoxy, and a little bit of working in Open Rocket, which is what we model our rockets on the computer.
Well, I learned how to use that programming software a little bit, so that.
Some workshop skills, making the rockets and collaborating with people.
I would definitely say I've developed a lot of technical skills. Apart from building rockets, I've learned a lot about motors and electronics and stuff like that.
During rocketry, I developed skills such as using a drill, using a bunch of different power tools, and then also how to generally just machine things. I had never really learned that skill before.
I learned how to use power tools. That was a big one. That and learning how rockets work, learning how engineering design process works through starting with software and getting to building the actual thing that you're designing.
Myself using construction kinds of things, using power tools, trying to build composite structures. Some electronics that we've done in the past. Yeah.
And have you continued rocketry in college?
I have continued rocketry at college. I'm currently part of the NC State Rocketry Club. Go Pack!
I have, yes. I'm part of the WashU Rocketry team in St. Louis.
Nice. Finally, who's your favorite member of rocketry?
Both of you.
Yeah.